In the cheerful town of Sunshineville, two best friends named Joshua and Abigail were known for their playful adventures and big hearts. They always tried to be honest and kind to everyone around them. One sunny morning, as they were playing near the town square, they overheard a group of adults talking about a mysterious event that had happened the night before. The famous vase in Mayor Brown's house had been broken, and no one knew how it happened. Joshua and Abigail's curious minds started spinning with ideas. "Abigail, do you think we can solve this mystery?" asked Joshua with a mischievous grin. Abigail nodded. "Definitely, Joshua. Let's be like detectives and find out the truth." With magnifying glasses in hand, they began their investigation. They questioned everyone who was near the mayor's house, but nobody seemed to know what had really happened. As they were talking to Mrs. Miller, the town baker, they noticed something interesting. She looked a bit nervous when asked about the vase. Joshua and Abigail exchanged glances, thinking they might have found a clue. "Mrs. Miller, did you see anything near Mayor Brown's house last night?" asked Joshua. Mrs. Miller hesitated and then said, "Well, I did see a shadowy figure, but it was too dark to see clearly." Abigail's eyes widened. "A shadowy figure? That sounds like a clue." Excitedly, they continued their investigation, gathering more clues from others in town. Soon, they heard from Mr. Turner that he had seen Mrs. Thompson, the town artist, near the house that night. Joshua and Abigail's heads spun with even more ideas. So, was it Mrs. Thompson who broke the vase, wondered Joshua. Abigail thought for a moment. "We need to hear Mrs. Thompson's side of the story before we jump to conclusions." They found Mrs. Thompson in her colorful art studio, surrounded by her beautiful paintings. She looked surprised when they approached her with questions about the vase. "Did you break Mayor Brown's vase?" asked Abigail gently. Mrs. Thompson shook her head. "Oh no, I was near the house to leave a gift for the mayor. I didn't touch the vase." Joshua and Abigail looked at each other, realizing that they were getting different stories from people. They decided to gather everyone together and share the clues they had found. In front of the townspeople, Joshua and Abigail explained how they had talked to Mrs. Miller and Mr. Turner. They told Mrs. Thompson's side of the story too. The townspeople listened carefully. Mayor Brown smiled. "Thank you, Joshua and Abigail, for trying to solve the mystery. But I must confess, I accidentally bumped into the vase and broke it myself." The townspeople burst into laughter, amazed at how a simple accident had turned into a tangled web of stories. Abigail giggled. "So, there was no shadowy figure or secret plot?" Joshua laughed. "Looks like we were solving a mystery that wasn't a mystery at all." Everyone in Sunshineville had a good laugh and learned an important lesson about the 9th commandment: you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. They realized how stories can get mixed up and how important it is to be honest and share the truth. And so, the town of Sunshineville continued to be a place of laughter, friendship, and honesty, thanks to the curious minds and big hearts of Joshua and Abigail. They taught everyone that the truth, no matter how tangled, should always shine through.